We were hoping to find Lo alive, right?
Auntie's going to take care of you. It'll be okay. Keep it together, Kelly.
This thing's orbit is stable, right? Ada checked before we docked? Captain? Great work.
That won't do it all. Jasper, you imbecile. One team is a tragedy, two teams is a blunder. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Sky High, my magnum opus of psychostimulants. I feel like I've already explained this to the last hallucination. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? Dr. Jasper Lowe? You see my uniform. Don't demote me like that. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
Something tells me he's not looking for caffeinoid, Captain.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. New friends mean new birthdays to keep track of, and I can't spare much room in my mind palace for frivolous trinkets of information. But in this case, I'll make an exception. Dr. Jasper Lowe at your service. Pleased to meet you, friend. You mean my inhaler? It's designed to deliver a highly concentrated dose of Sky High right through my respiratory system. The formula's still a work in progress. Clears my mind for a few precious moments. The rowdy tenants of my mind palace stop their chattering, and in that silence, I experience clarity. Inspiration through inhalation. That's Sky High, or it will be once I perfect my formula.
Doctor's orders. Are you sure that's such a good idea, Captain? Seems like this fella's head's already in the clouds.
Who's he, what's he now? Take an inhale? Yes, yes. An excellent suggestion. Much better. My mind is clear. So are my sinuses, in fact. Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. Ah, right. How do I put this? This is not the first time I've lost a research team to corporate mismanagement. It's the second. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team, forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated, forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity, to forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Human Inquiry was supposed to be responsible for testing Adrenatime. Under normal circumstances, the chem lab wouldn't have had to perform live tests. But creative incubation pressured my team with impossible deadlines. The prototypes we delivered to Dr. Blakesley at Human Inquiry were poor because we were rushed. I had to begin experimenting on my own. I had to perform my own tests, so I used primals. They're not the best choice for test subjects, but I was working for Spacer's Choice. Whoever reached greatness by coloring within the lines. And besides, my lines often move around on the page. My point is, I was doing my job. I was doing science. I will continue to do so until my mind or my body expires. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. Who is to worry about it if not myself? The myriad of murdered colleagues you so helpfully pointed out? As if I could forget them. As if I could forget that it was my fault. It's always my fault. Every mistake, every slip. I haven't slept in days. There's work to be done. Important work. I'll get around to developing Anthracillin Plus after I finish working on Sky High. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. No, I'm not stepping out of my lab. Not under any circumstances. I can't bear to look at what's out there. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Of course you do. Well then, let's hear them. One thing at a time, my chatty accomplice. Turbine repairs first, interviews later.
can't hang around for a bit? I want to get a look at its innards.
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. Right, yes, of course. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. If you'll excuse me, my experiments cry out for my attention. Die, perhaps? I don't like the... I've helped... If you'll
Everything's going to be okay. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's going to be all right. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Anti-Cleo's anthracillin. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Just a feeling I got. Every day was the same as every other day. I felt like I was stuck in a circle, you know? Started imagining what it'd be like to break that circle. Station goes in a circle around the planet, so what if I just dropped off the edge? But after what I've seen, after what happened, I don't want that anymore. I want to live. Pink slip protocol. How should I know? I just monitor the front desk. Well, except for the last couple of days when I've been hiding out in here. If you work at Oops, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Yep. Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station. Anti-Cleo's naming and branding department's the best in Halcyon. I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Anti-Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Anti-Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. Nothing good if the last year's taught me anything. Isolation like this is supposed to strengthen bonds between workers, isn't it? All I ended up as was the butt of a bunch of jokes. But enough about me. I never did ask why you were here. Doc Lowe's alive? That's a relief. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hey, not to sound presumptuous, but this is an orbital lab floating in the ether thousands of miles above the surface of Olympus. Which means you've got a ship, where it's safe, and where there's probably a lavatory? Oh, I'm not getting at anything. I'm getting away from, all this mess. Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. But you said if I opened the door... Oh, all right. I'm not much in a position to barter. Take it. I swear this is all I have. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours. Is something leaking, or does it always smell like this? Not that I'm complaining, I'm just curious.
We are now in orbit of Earth Orbit.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern.
Hey, Cap. Something on your mind?
I never seen a voice lock in action before.
Guess we're gonna have to listen to this Jasper guy one last time.
This facility is currently experiencing a heightened security event. Accessing this facility requires voice-modulated passphrase. Please speak the passphrase.
We attest to the zest with our hand on our chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Passphrase accepted. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Jasper Lowe.
So this is where Spacer's Choice's top lab coats made their wonder drug? Yep, looks like a mess.
Hold on. I thought this place was supposed to be abandoned. You think that could have been the spooky voice from OCI? The one calling themselves the Ghost?
Processing. Data beginning.
Incoming! Go! Don't miss this.
Whether you're in a fancy lab or an old rust bucket, one thing's for sure. No one cleans the common area.
Nicely done.
The effects of Compound X are inescapable. The refined excrement of the xenocyte life form. It's a fine powder, very fine. It finds its way into absolutely everything. Even in the water now, and the air. It settles like a veil over all of Gorgon. The laboratory techs get the worst of it. We all appreciated the boost to mood and productivity at first, but we're at each other's throats in an instant now. I've had to break up 2 fistfights this week alone. This aggression must be inherent to the formula, to Compound X. How do I stop it?
Isn't the point of a secure off-world lab to keep things like that out?
Look Mr. Lowe was awfully messy, wasn't he?
You survived. You're remarkably intent on scuttling my every plan to end you. How inconsiderate. Especially after I've gone to so much effort to see Gorgon rest in peace. Why do you insist on waking it up?
But Gorgon's been a ruin for years and years. You think they've been here the whole time?
You know, the more they tell us to stop, the more I want to see what they're keeping us from.
Since we've been traveling together, we've visited a lot of places that set my teeth on edge. This here makes my skin crawl.
I've seen some reckless operations, but here, it's like they were trying to get people killed. Sloppy work, poor management, and a questionable odor? I'll say. Still, Spacer's Choice spent a fortune on this place. Filled it with the best and brightest lab coats they could find, and this is what they came up with?
That might have been enough for me back in Edgewater. But after all we've seen of Halcyon? Captain, someone should have said no. I get now why Miss Ambrose would want to clear her mom's name. If the folks responsible for Edgewater's woes tried to blame him on my dad, I couldn't have let it stand.
Let's get out of here. This place stinks like machine grease and bad science.
I thought about hiding in a crate, but they all smell sort of funny.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? I wish I was your second derivative, so I could investigate your concavities. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. See you soon, Captain. An unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. I have been programmed to simulate joy and excitement at the opportunity to test my limited defensive capabilities. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I was bluffing, Captain. When we met in Emerald Vale, my systems were not fully operational. Even if they were, I might have made an exception for you. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Yes, Captain. I am capable of deploying the Unreliable's articulated thrusters to dislodge their ship from our own. This is a temporary solution, however. A permanent solution may require your personal intervention. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiating warm welcome protocol. Please maintain your responsible distance. Warm welcome protocol successfully deployed. Have a safe boarding, Captain. I'll lock up behind you.
Looks like our opponent knows how to play defense. All right, freebooters, fall back and regroup.
Dang, that's impressive.
You know, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping you'd play by the rules. We could have had a good old-fashioned boarding. Now you're barging into my office, muddying tracks all over my floor. A little respect for the ship. Is that too much to ask? I'd take your word for it, but I haven't made up my mind about you. You're the captain of the Unreliable. You dropped out of the sky in Emerald Vale, and whatever you've been doing on Gorgon, you've upset my employer. You and I are in a bit of a situation. I don't get paid unless you're dead, and a man's gotta make a living. You understand.
Right.
got my head in the game, boss. Maybe we can talk when we're done here?
I must say that there's been nary a dull moment since signing on with this crew.
I thought we were safe in the Aether. Oh, law, I'm gonna have nightmares about this for weeks.
Invading foreign threats detected. Deploying lethal measures. Targets: bacteria, viruses, and human scum.
Assholes interrupted my beauty sleep.
I've been on the other side of a boarding dock enough to recognize amateurs.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course. Ready to dock at the Groundbreaker Auxiliary Base.
Let's try being friendly. Maybe they'll try it back.
Hey you, over here. Let's chat. Whoa, 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 it's risen. Oh, fucking damn it. Every time. So, hey, you trespass, and I'm armed. Maybe take a second look at your life choices, pal. Yeah, I know that lady. I know she's looking for, solitude. She hired us to make sure no one comes sniffing around. Guess that's bad news for your plan there. What, after 5 years? Pretty sure she's serious about a little stint in solitary. Anyway, Blakesley's given us standing orders to strongly discourage anyone who tries to come in. I like to, extrapolate from there. We ain't subversives. We're gainfully employed. This is a private contract. Miss Junlei can't get too mad if we rough up some trespassers. Especially if I was nice enough to warn him first. This deal with Blakesley's pretty sweet. We get paid, and we get fresh greens every week. My gums never looked healthier. What? Shit. Insurance, you said? Fine, I guess.
I see what you did there, and I'm impressed.
Look, we won't give you trouble, but I can't say the same about Blakesley. She's got some crazy setup in there, so if you get shot, don't come complaining to me. This one's clear, guys.
Nice one, Captain.
Some days, it's like I don't know what to do with myself.
Come on, this is great. We don't have to beat up miscreants for them anymore. We can beat up miscreants for ourselves.
Must be a step up from force factories, huh? Doesn't look like either of us are sitting pretty in Byzantium, big shot.
Come on, you two. We're all gardeners here.
You gotta watch some of these guys. Used to work for the competition.
Those Mardettes are too soft.
Going in to see the old lady? Have fun.
Maybe if I beg, they'll let me back?
You have to be kidding me. I thought I made myself clip. Wait, what's with this camera? Hello? Damn it. Look, I get it. Some people need things spelled out for them. I'm sure one of the automechanicals can explain.
System alert. Searching.
Down. That's the last of them.
Observation log. Date. Well, never mind. Hybridization efforts have proven successful, and the nursery's yield is improving steadily. Meanwhile, the psychological benefits of gardening are difficult to assess without a control group. Subjective reflection suggests minor gains in memory retention and contentment. Observation log, date, who knows. Subject number, well, let's call him Percy. Percy here has discovered the secret to success. He has lifted the veil and found the pattern. He wakes up, he listens for that bell 3 times a day. Food rains from the sky. He eats, he waits. Life is easy. But the second your molt comes in, pal,
You gotta teach me that.
Whatever that is, it's loud.
So who the fuck? Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear a damn thing. Just gonna shut this thing off. Right. Marion Blakesley, what can I do for you, Miss Home Invasion? Hey, a lot of money went into corralling that pack of trigger-happy washouts. Not exactly the deepest hiring pool out here. Oh, sure. A real gathering of bright minds. Gorgon? I holed up in a forgotten cargo bay of a rotting colony ship just so I could never hear that name again. But here you are. I really didn't expect today to go this way. Shit. I should have brought another pack of smokes. The Gorgon project gave us Adrena time in the end, but that's just the Bo Spacer's choice stuck on the whole mess. Corporate demanded a product they could throw onto shelves. That put the squeeze on low at Chem to develop formulas. Samples. But how do you know if the product works? You run tests, see what happens. That's where human inquiry and auditing came in. I ran HIA and HIA ran the tests again and again and again. And what happens is a whole lot of wasted time and even more bodies. You met the gardeners. They're nothing but overgrown canids, but people love their fancy names. We were looking for a game changer, something to better the colony. It felt important, worth a few sacrifices. Spacer's choice. They wanted to sell that change for as many bits as they could. None of us got what we wanted. You've heard the adverts, right? Work day and night, still feel refreshed the next morning. Now, what we tested for was dexterity, efficiency, compliance. The traits of a good employee. Numbers never came out right. I could have pumped gallons of those chemicals into every living soul in this colony. Wouldn't have changed that. What we got was marauders. Hey, do whatever you like. Life's short and we're all dying anyway. I was a good scientist. I had to have wound up on that asteroid for a reason. I worked so hard. We all get stuck in our own patterns. Magical thinking. That was mine. We had a few weird accidents, escapes, minor setbacks. But one day, all the test subjects got loose. Sabotage, they said. Wasn't just us. All of the facilities got hit hard. Shut us down for a while. That turned out to be the last straw. Nah, didn't much care by then. Don't care much now. Spacer's Choice wasn't getting much use out of us anymore, so they shuttered the project, kicked Adrenatime out the door. And I came here. I could have gone back to Byzantium, found a position somewhere else. Even started up something new, like mostly. But I couldn't stop thinking about. Indulge a scientist. What do you want out of this investigation of yours? Trying to liven up your memoir? Huh. Haven't had any new jokes to laugh at in a while. How about you, Byzantium? What do you get out of headbutting murderous automechanicals for your captain here?
Money, obviously. Plus, it's fun.
Fair enough. That's all I've got. Here, I still have this pass. Don't much feel like hanging on to it anymore. Made my exit the moment the project started falling apart. Had to steal some credentials. This should get you into the volunteer induction entrance. Please. I just messaged people with fake demands for their passwords. That's when they didn't just leave codes written down on pieces of paper. If I couldn't talk my way out past a simple facility lockdown, I'd be working for Rizzo's. That'll get you inside. What you do from there, that's up to you. Come on. I've left it behind me. Yeah, well, you have to go on, don't you? Guilt's a useless emotion. What good is thinking about the past over and over and over again? Please, I don't need... Fine. Fine, here, I remember one of my access codes. Just punch in the keypad equivalent for replication. Should get you into the offices. Maybe get you to my terminal a little sooner. Go test that persistence of yours out on Gorgon. Yeah. I'll make sure the automechanicals don't bother you on the way out. Sure, take it. Just drowning in dining options down here.
Those Mardettes are too soft.
You gonna shoot or what?
I think it's jammed. Wow. Impressive.
We're not dissidents, you know. We're employed.
You gotta watch some of these guys. Used to work for the competition.
What are you looking at?
We are now in orbit above Gorgon. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? I need a little help with my calculus. Can you integrate my natural log? As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. I'll be here.